Hey mate, so you're thinking of starting a Twitch channel or YouTube, TikTok, Mixer, it doesn't really matter. But you know you want to put content out there to help or entertain someone, and you want to know what you need to get started. That's cool. There's a lot of competition out there though. But if you have some unique ideas, you're really funny or exceptionally good at what you do, you might end up as the next Ninja or David Dobrik. And the best part is you don't even need the best gear to get started. Both of these guys had pretty basic setups to begin with, and you can too. Well, let's see what the bare minimum looks like and what you can upgrade cheaply to improve your video's quality. Before we get into it any further, if you do want to hang out with me and talk to me about any of this further, or even just chat, you can jump into my stream. I stream every Sunday through Wednesday from 6:30 Australian Eastern Time. So jump in for a chat. And don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, thumbs up, hit the bell so that you get to see any future videos and all that stuff. Right, first thing you need to decide is, what are you creating? Comedy? Computer games? Are you going to be a vlogger? Depending on what you want to create is going to depend on what platform you should probably get on. Not all platforms are created equal for all types of content. If you're looking to do short comedy skits, probably TikTok is good for you. However, live gaming, you might want to jump on Mixer or Twitch. Or if what you're looking to do is longer edited content for gaming, comedy, instructional videos, it really doesn't matter. They're probably best to go onto YouTube as a good starting platform. Now, I'm not saying you can't game on YouTube Live, or you can't do instructionals on Twitch, or you can't do comedy on either of them. All I'm saying is currently the viewers on some of these platforms and the platform itself caters to a specific type of people more so than others. So I try to stick to the ones that are relevant to what you're trying to do. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't get onto those other platforms eventually either. You definitely should, as a way to drive traffic to whatever your primary one is and potentially build a secondary income stream if that's something that you're into. And who's not into it, a little extra money. Right, I'm going to assume you already know what kind of content you want to create. So the next step is to go and create a channel for that content. I'd suggest creating a new email address with the name of the channel that you're planning to use, because if your personal email is anything like mine, it's a mess. And it'll be much easier for you in the future to have any business related stuff going through to that one email address rather than mixed in with all of your personal stuff where you might lose it and miss opportunities. I generally use Gmail or Outlook, as both of them are huge companies that I can't see going out of business anytime soon, and they're free and they work well. Jump on the platform that you want to use and use that email to sign up. Now, the last thing you absolutely need to create content is a camera. Luckily, you've probably got a really good one in your hand right now, or in your pocket, or on the desk beside you, your smartphone. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good, and it's going to get you started. A little caveat on that, if you are planning to do video game content, you're probably going to need more than just a camera filming that. You're going to need a capture card, streaming software like OBS or Stream Elements or one of those. And in future videos, I'm planning to go through those and show you how to get them set up and what you need and how to do that. At this point, you can literally start streaming, start going live, start uploading your content. Just do it. All right, quick recap, just to go through the steps that you need to get started right away. 1, decide what type of videos you want to make. Really, you should already know this. That's why you're here. 2, decide what channel name you're going to use. I'm assuming you probably already know that too. 3, create an email with that channel name. 5 minutes. 4, decide what platform suits the type of content you want to create. I talked about it before. If you've got any issues, jump on the stream. I've got it listed down below and we'll have a chat. More than happy to talk to you about it. Or just jump back a couple of minutes and have a look at what I've said before. But really, jump in the stream, have a chat. 5, create an account on the platform that you've chosen. At most another 5 minutes to get started with that. 6, start making content, but make sure you upload it or go live or whatever. Fear of getting it perfect, you'll never get started. We all feel that fear. So at this point, you're really ready to go out and get started, as I just said. But there is a heap of other things you can do to improve your video's quality. All of these can be done very cheaply through to very expensively. Over the coming months, I plan to do videos on all of these things. But just to get you started, we're going to go over a few things now that can be done pretty cheaply and give you the maximum benefit in video quality. Okay guys, there's a little hypocrisy here. I filmed this video on my old camera and I thought that the quality would be my standard. Probably not the standard that I'm hoping for. Moving forwards, my videos will be filmed on this camera and hopefully the quality is going to be much nicer. Forget it. I made a video about video quality and the quality is not quite there. Come tell me off for it in stream. Sorry. The next one's going to be better. So there's two things that are going to make a huge difference to your videos: the quality of your video and the quality of your audio. So I'm going to go over a couple of quick options for you for both of these, depending on where you're filming and what you're trying to film. At the end of the day, people are going to forgive you for not having 4K video. Most people are watching on their phone anyway, so it doesn't really matter when it's squished down to that size. But if your sound is bad and they can't hear you properly, they're not going to stick around. Now, if you're starting out like most people and you're just using a phone, the audio on the phone isn't going to be spectacular. I mean, look, here's my phone, okay? It's got a big case on it. It's got the microphone is sort of hidden just down sort of in the bottom here. I'm talking whatever. Yeah, you can hear it, but it's going to sound a little bit far away or too close or tinny or weird. It's okay. In perfect situation, you can get away with it. But there's options out there to make it better. Now, you can get a lavalier microphone from Amazon for as cheap as 20 Australian dollars. I'll put the link in the description below for those of you that want to have a look at that. Or if you had a bit of money, you might go for a nice high-end one like a Rode or something like that. Probably like 110, 120 Australian dollars. Is it 5 or 6 times better than the $20 one? Probably not. In fact, the difference between them, unless you're an audio engineer, is going to be almost unnoticeable on things like YouTube. There is also small, specially made camera microphones, like little shotgun microphones you can get. I don't have one, but they're supposed to be very good as well. You can even go as far as using the headphones that came with your phone when you got it. They've usually got a little microphone on it. Anything that improves that sound, whether it be the lav microphone or a little shotgun mic, or the headphones which keeps them just closer to your mouth so that they can hear you better when you're out and about, is all going to improve the sound quality on your video infinitely. Now, if you're planning to film at your desk, like I mostly do, you might prefer to use some headphones which have a microphone on them for gaming. Or you could get a desktop microphone like a Blue Yeti or something like that. Or possibly even a condenser microphone like the Rode NT1 that I'm using here. It's a little on the expensive side, but it's an excellent microphone. Or you can get a pretty good dynamic microphone like a Behringer or something like that for $30. Or if you really wanted to get one on the cheap, Amazon has some out there for 16 Australian dollars. Comes with the microphone stand and the pop filter. I'll put a link for that as well. Now, I mentioned my Rode NT1. It's a condenser microphone. It sounds good when you're close. You can talk from back here and it will still hear you. If you're using a dynamic microphone, you pretty much have to speak up close to it the whole time if you want it to work properly, because they're designed that way to not pick up all the background noise. Now, if you are recording in a quiet space where there's not too much echo or background noise, this is fine. Otherwise, if you have a bit of background noise, you can still use one of these. You just need to set up some noise gates and other things just to make sure that you don't get all that background noise from around you. There is some good options out there for cheaper ones as well. I was using the newer brand NW700 for the last year and a half roughly. That came with this scissor arm, the phantom power unit, the microphone, the pop filter, everything you could need to make it work, and all the cabling, and it was like 60 Australian dollars, and it gets you fully set up and ready to go. And it was great. Not as good as this microphone, but still very good. As with all equipment, you can pretty much go up in price almost endlessly. It comes down to what you're comfortable with and what suits your needs for where you're currently at in whatever you're creating. Now, the next thing you want to upgrade is going to be your camera. Here's a quick rundown on what's available depending on what type of filming you want to do. The first thing you need to understand is if you're buying a new camera to upgrade from your phone, remembering that your phone's camera is pretty good for what it is. But if you're upgrading to a camera to replace that, to make it, noticeably better, there's not going to be very many cheap options out there, unless you're filming at your desk and you're going to use a webcam. Now, if you're out filming like a vlogger, you're going to want something light with a flip screen on it, something that you can carry around easily and not get the sore arm all day. Probably something like the Canon PowerShot G7X Mark II. It's got everything you need to make your vlogging life easy, but it's not the cheapest at around 700 Australian dollars. Now, if you're planning to film yourself in front of the desk like I am, you could get away with a webcam, like one from the Logitech range. I have a C922 Pro that I was using for the last year and a half or so before I upgraded to my mirrorless M50. Now, the Logitech stuff isn't the cheapest out there, but it's good quality for what it is. If you want something that's just going to do the job, you can find a webcam out there from anywhere from probably $5 Australian all the way up to $400 Australian, depending on how good you want. If you're going to go up as far as 400, you'd probably do better to start looking at the second-hand market for mirrorless cameras. So there's pros and cons to all of the cameras and microphones, regardless of which one you get. And it all comes down to your personal needs and what you're filming and what your budget is. My suggestion is learn from my mistakes. Just use what you can afford easily. And if you grow to a point where you can afford to upgrade and you feel like you need to, do it then. So over the next weeks and months, I'm going to be going through all the things that I struggled with when I was trying to get set up to content create, whether that be for podcasting or for streaming on Twitch or for making YouTube videos like we're making right here. There's a lot that goes into them. And whether it's about lighting or sound or video or the programs that you use or how to make thumbnails or how to come up with what you should be talking about on stream, all this content, it's a struggle for everyone. No one just gets out there and is perfect straight away. I'm not perfect now, I'm far from it, but this is part of the process. And I'm going to go through everything that I've struggled with you to show you what I did wrong, what I did well, things that I've learned, and hopefully you can learn from them too. Now, I know I already mentioned this, but I do stream on Twitch every Sunday through till Tuesday. If you want to jump on, it's at 6:30 Australian Eastern Time. Have a chat about whatever, whether it's related to this or the game that I'm playing or anything that's going on in life, basically. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, hit the bell for notifications, and stay awesome, mate. See ya.